an urchin's boast of their coins.
Best check my stock before a customer comes along.
Time was, you scarce saw any beastrons here in Burnworth, but that you'd think that'd be on account of immigration, but not so. See, a child born of both races always favours the beastron. At least I've ne'er beheld a human with a beastron parent. I suppose it might be possible, but 'tis unheard of. If we keep mixing, someday our kingdom will end up with more beastrons than they've got or in Batal.
What to make of this?
We could get
Time to be heading home.
draw in as many customers as I can.
Go on, have a look. Pleasure doing business with.
No purchases to be made today, I see. I just hope the shopkeep understands.
Browsing was enough to scratch the itch, in my case.
I've a knack for combining materials that I hope you'll find useful. I'll craft aught I can using what's in my pack. I'm grateful to have served you for so long, Arisen. I shall hold these memories close for all Delighted time. To meet you, especially if we share...
A troubling rumor has reached my ears, and methinks I ought to share it. 'Tis said there is an illness spores can contract beyond the rift that inflicts unspeakable harm on those around them. As it progresses, the pawn gradually loses all self-control, and in time will even cease to heed the Arisen's commands.
That sounds most unpleasant. I do hope we shall remain free of it.
Hoi, friend! Having any time for me today? I dare say we're overdue another talk. There's something I've come to understand during my stolen hours exploring these streets, and I wanted to share it with you. Every last resident in this city is wholeheartedly devoted to living out their lives. It seems a simple observation, I know, but to me, 'twas a revelation. For it made me painfully aware of my own position. Can this existence of mine even be called living when I am so doted upon by my mother? I want to live a life I can proudly call my own, and to achieve it with all that my heart desires. I tire of enduring my mother's coddling, and of having to mind every twitch in her face in order to appease her. Looking at this box, it fills me with courage. 'Tis proof that I am not my mother's servant to be wheeled about as she pleases. 'Tis something I obtained of my own will. Here is the last of the gold I owe you. Pray forgive me for making you wait for it. Now, I'd best be off. I may not be able to wander the city again for some time. There's aught I would do. Thus, I cannot say when next we'll see each other. Though I feel sure we shall in time. Perhaps sooner than we might think. Till then, take care, friend.
That was quite a gift. I hope that procuring it was not a burden upon the lad.
It is as you say.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't,
This ladder can take us to new heights.
After you, Arisen. You shan't hear me complain about an early repose. A good sleep does wonders.
Come, we've much to be getting on with.
I don't know about you, but I am full of vim and vigor.
I can accompany you to the castle entrance, Master, but no further.
Ah, how I've longed to embrace.
If 'tis an obscure text we seek, methinks Magistrate Walder is our best hope. His knowledge of tomes is unparalleled. Say no more, Master. I know just where to find this person, and will guide you there post-haste.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
Time to find me a mark.
What to make of this?
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
We could pick some now and use them when the need arises.
Have no... Fear, Master. I'll fare all right without you for a little while.
'Tis not our place to hurry the Arisen.
Always a fresh breeze blowing round here. I quite like it here.
This is where I come when life gets a lonely place. But not without its charm. Grab for other now. Spending in dreams.
Feels eerie, no one about. It's almost in paradise.
Mine is a life devoted. 'Tis here that the bodies of those who... I beg you to conduct yourself with care and with a reverence. Your patronage is...
We might scratch another task off our list while we're here, if we are so inclined.
We shall have to decide which is the most pressing. We cannot do everything at once.
Do you know how long you'll be? I only ask so that I might adopt the most effective stance to recuperate my strength.
I suppose all we can do is wait.
Been to tie my boots.
I'd sooner stay out of that, were it possible.
This place is awful dull. Can't complain, mind.
Must hope. Put out till someone comes to relieve me.
The town's been up of late.
Might you be looking to enlist?
Quit acting so chummy.
Like it or not, I must go where...
And have you come to release me from this jail? Who are you? Aha! Then we are presented with three options. Either the law of our world that allows only one arisen has been upended, or Isa's arisen is false, or you are lying to me. Have you proof that you are arisen, as you say? Ah, they say the arisen's breast bears a wound akin to the dragon's claw. By that mark, 'twould seem 'tis true. This reminds me of a happening 148 years ago. During the reign of Regent Alphonse, a man named Crusoe appeared and claimed to be arisen. He went before the people, insisting that he, and not Regent Alphonse, was the true Arisen, the one fit to lead them as their ruler. And what befell him, you ask? Ha! Crusoe was discovered to be a liar, whereupon his head was liberated from his shoulders on the spot. Aye, I dare say your arrival portends another beheading, but whose will it be, Escape? But why? Here, I spend my days perusing the code and deciphering old texts. I can devote all my time to my own interests. And I need not turn my ear to Isa's absurd demands. 'Tis a paradise to me, this cell. That said, if you know of a place with a mountain of tomes I could delve into, I might rethink the matter. Tell me, does that ring any bells? Oh, to think such a place existed. Oh, very curious. Guide me outside, then. If you can deliver me from this pit, I ought to be able to find the rest of the way on my own.
Townsboy depend on me.
Good to see you, Master.
Aye, this should be far enough. My thanks. If you truly are Arisen, then I swear to someday repay this debt I owe. Words may be wind, but there's naught else I can offer you at present. Pray visit me if you've the time or inclination. Mayhap the knowledge I've gained reading tomes of Eld could be of some use to you.
We ought to bring word of this to Captain Brandt. Would you mind coming over here?
My fur stands on end.
Have you a different destination in mind, Master? Very well. I shall follow your lead instead.
Perhaps the Arisen is
Shall we pay Miss Daphne another visit? I find myself wondering how the young lass fares. Certainly, Master. I can take you to this individual.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
What am I supposed to do?
My legs are fair numb.
How to make an easy fix.
Let's make ready for the
How'd I end up here?
It will come up today. I just know it.
Over here, if you please.
There's comfort in upon the long of daily life.
Getting proper rest is an important duty in its own right.
Our adventure continues.
Off we go, then.
Feeling rested, I trust?
A dozen things at once.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm Kyle. Naught to look forward to, but a long day of work.
One of these days I'll buy myself a manor. Can't help but talking of Greetings.
Would you mind coming over here? We're here, Master.
What should I do?
Oh, it's not right. It doesn't make any sort of sense. The doctor examined him afore and said he'd be better with a bit of medicine. Yet ever since he came here, he's only gotten worse.
I understand how you must feel, but you must see that your son's health continues to wane. There is no medicine that can heal him outright. He requires proper treatment. I am caring for him as best I can. I beg only for your patience. However, if you truly cannot entrust him to me, perhaps you would care to take him home with you instead. Mayhap convalescing in a place familiar to him would aid his recovery. Of course, I would be sure to visit him as oft as I am able.
Home, you say?
Dear, we are pressed enough as 'tis.
All right, he stays. But pray, bring my son back to health.
I will look after him. I swear it.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
I'd say we collect as much as we can carry.
That woman's taking advantage of us, she is. She knows full well we've nowhere else to turn.
I've got something for you.
Will he truly be all right?
Sir, ought you not be in... Ah, forgive me. You're not a patient, are you? I suppose you must be a visitor. 'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Eleanor. I have the privilege of serving as abbess here. I regret that I cannot offer you a cup of tea, but I'm in the middle of making my rounds of the patients. Not to mention, I have to find the means to procure more medicinal ingredients. Oh. You wouldn't happen to know someone willing to brave the roads, would you? I know 'tis perilous, but there is one ingredient in particular we cannot afford to run out of. You would procure it yourself? I am grateful beyond words, sir. In that case, might I trouble you to bring me some miasmite? The slums are a bane to the body's humors, and its residents are oft prone to illness. We do what we can with what little we have, but we're always short on helping hands. Your aid is most appreciated, sir. May your search prove fruitful.
Tellies!
Yes, sir. Ah, forgive me. If that's not the case, you will have to excuse...
What to do? What to do? Hoy, Arisen! Say, have you heard about the state of the river? Do you know the river close by the church? Well, it's come to be full of muck and filth and all sorts. That's a problem for the church, as it draws from the river to make holy water. The water's so filthy that it's going to take twice the amount of gold ore to purify it. I was thinking you could help the priests by finding some gold ore. After all, it wouldn't be good for anyone if the church ran out of holy water. I was hoping you'd say that. Thanks ever so much. I'll help too. I'll look for gold ore every place I can think of.
Now we seek gold ore. Though 'tis sold in shops, mining some ourselves might prove the better choice.
I suppose 'tis so.
Barely dragged my ass out of bed. I'm at the end of the road. Oh, I could use a rest.
I'm in no hurry to leave.
At last we've arrived. Delivery in hand.
Perhaps once we've concluded this bit of business, we might allow ourselves a moment's rest.
You have my support. Here we are.
Hoy, Arisen! Have you found any gold ore yet? Wow! This'll be plenty, I reckon. Thank you ever so much. Listen, I was talking to the priests, and apparently our troubles aren't over yet. Would you be willing to lend us a hand again, Arisen? Just one more time? Thanks. So, remember how I told you about the river by the church getting all mucky? Well, the grown-ups are saying it's gotten worse. Now lots of people who live nearby are falling sick. The priests have been treating everyone as best they can, but there's nowhere near enough medicine to go round. I want to help them, but I'm not sure what I can do. Apart from ask you, that is. Would you bring us some more medicine, Arisen? Oh, thanks, Arisen. What would we do without you? I'll talk to the priests in the meantime, see if there's anything useful I can do.
Now we've need of medicine. We can purchase it at shops, or make some ourselves by combining the ingredients.
'Tis easily done.
Yes, sir. Have you procured what I asked? Splendid. You've my gratitude. Unfortunately, I can give you little more than that. Forgive me, but I must return to my rounds directly. Ah, but in place of a reward, mayhap I could give you a tour of the premises. Only if you've the time and inclination, of course. What say you? Would you care to accompany me? As servants of the gracious hand, we provide whatever treatment we can to those unfortunate who are stricken by maladies. Yet, at times, 'tis not enough. Perhaps you will recall the parents who were here when you first arrived, an unfortunate pair. They've suffered no few hardships in the slums, and now even their poor son Lubomir has fallen ill. By chance, he was examined by a roaming man claiming to be a doctor. Yet, the family had not the money for the medicine he required. So, he was put into our care.
At last! The moment I've been waiting for. Allow me to gather these up.
Here he is. This young man is Lubomir. We've been administering the medicine recommended by the doctor who examined him, but he has yet to show any sign of recovery. To be perfectly honest, I doubt the soundness of that so-called doctor's judgment. After all, there is no shortage of ne'er-do-wells out there, willing to claim their medicine the only cure, that they might inflate its price. But I suppose I ought not say such things so openly. At any rate, I'd best continue on my rounds. Pray, stay as long as you wish. Come, come. We've medicine to prepare. We've enough to make a fresh batch now, thanks to a kind donation.
Psst! You there. Help me. Listen, the sisters here are good to us, but I'm growing weaker day by day. It started with a slight fever, and now I can scarce lift myself up. See that empty bed? An old man was lying in it till just a few days past. He told me he was feeling better, that he'd be well enough to leave anon. And now he's... Mayhap I'm just imagining things. I hope that's the case. And yet... something isn't right about this place. Pray, should you hear any queer rumors about the gracious hand, come tell me of them, won't you? I'd see to it myself, but I can hardly move.
This is for you, Master. I thought it might come in useful.
May the heavens look kindly upon us.
A moment's prayer can do a world of good.
Might I beg but a moment of your time?
Got any good stories to share?
Might I beg but a moment of your time?
Might you be a friend of Lubomir's? He's seen better days, hasn't he? There has been talk of sending him down to the basement, should his condition fail to improve. That is, the basement sick room, where our most critical patients convalesce under the abbess's care. None of the other sisters are permitted entry, including myself. Teles, she gives the patients a special medicine. I know not what kind. At times I hear strange cries and moans drift up from below. Which is to be expected. Those who come here suffer all manner of afflictions, you see. And yet, a part of me is afeared for them.
So, the worst of us are taken to the basement. Mayhap that's the source of the queer voices I hear at night. And none save the abbess can enter? If the gracious hand has a secret, 'tis the abbess who keeps it, I reckon. You've done this much for me. Would you be willing to go further? I must find out what goes on down there. Oh, you've my thanks. I just can't stomach the thought of lying here not knowing. Of course, all the better should your search come to naught. But if you do find aught amiss down in that basement, it must be the abbess's doing. Should you find evidence fit to implicate her, will you help me see to it that justice is carried out? See, I've already reported my suspicions to the sentinels, and we've arranged a signal. If you apprehend the abbess, they'll know to come and arrest her. So I beg you, sir, find the evidence you need, if it exists to be found.
Aught about this reeks of a plot. Let us gather evidence that we might expose it.
You have my support.
Chaos in the world begins with chaos of the mind.
I know not why, but the words basement sick room set my hair on end. Shall we investigate?
Not a bad idea.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
We could pick some now and use them when the need arises.
Might I beg but a moment of your time? Chaos in the world begins with chaos of the mind.
A moment's prayer can do a world of good. I do hope naught befalls Lubomir. I should like to see him walk out of here in good health.
Just remember, I'm somewhere to be.
No hope in a tranquil mind.
This is all I ask of thee.
I've no desire to live this way any longer. I ain't gonna make any coin here. So tired. I'm barely the vim to time.
Here's a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
You're always good for a laugh.
Pray, keep your voice low.
I have no issue for... Are we to depart at this hour? I cannot see why we should choose to stumble around in the dark.
Shall we check our packs and be off?
I hope you slept well.
Every minute of this existence is torment.
I'm dead on my knees.
Hoy, Arisen! Have you brought any medicine with you? Thanks so much. This will make all the difference. But with so many sick, I reckon the priest could use a bit more than this.
I know not.
I fear I've much to attend to.
Medicine? Medicine! 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 Now! Now! Now!
Oh,
someone help me. Jahan? Bruno, where have you gone?
Here you are, Master. I hope you like it. I found it myself.
We found some evidence, but there might be more to discover. Let us... scour every inch of this room.
Splendid.
Dead on my feet. Maybe I'll keep right
Walk into peril unprepared. I'm off.
I'll gather the...
Oi, keep your distance.
Elena. Ah, yes. The abbess of the Gracious Hand. A fine woman by all accounts. I was in her care once myself. But I must admit, I've always felt there's something off about her. You see, I was only a little under the weather when I entered her care. But then I started getting sicker and sicker till I was certain death would come for me. In the end, I survived, but methinks I was one of the lucky few. So many died down there. And once, I saw her, the abbess, meeting with a strange man. She handed him a large parcel, all wrapped up. And he gave her something small in return. You'd think 'twere medicine, but I'd not have bought medicine from a man like that. He had the look of a scoundrel about him. They were whispering, but I did hear one of them say aught about keeping quiet. 'Tis well suspicious, eh? Where'd they meet? 'Twas in the square in the eastern part of the common quarter, and always a night, as I recall.
What could yon chest be hiding? I must know.
Lady Eleanor's a goodly person, a saint-like. Her earnest care saw me back to full health. I wavered between life and death for quite some time in that basement sick room, and she watched o'er me through it all, bless her. Can't say as I miss that basement, mind. 'Tis an eerie place, dark and shadowy, filled with the moaning of the sick. Suppose 'tis only to be expected, given the state of those assembled. I'm sure I was moaning too.
What did I do to deserve this?
It's been a hard day.
I'd sooner be home.
Short people do me this is a bit much for me. I guess head home.
gladly aid you with...
This ladder can take us to new heights.
After you, Arisen.
Here.
Aye, this is plenty. Lord Phasus is like to be in your debt. Nicely done. Suppose it can't have been easy to procure this much so quickly.
You suppose wrong. I command their full faith. 'Tis simple for me to extract what I require.
Ha! You're a fearsome one. Here's hoping I ne'er end up in your care.
Enough. I gave you yours, now you give me mine. I'd not be seen here with you.
Ah, of course. Wouldn't want to hurt the Lady Saint's image in the eyes of the common folk, would we? Here's your special medicine.
Glad we understand each other. Till next time.
Aye, be seeing you.
Lord Phasus, 'tis a name of great import. Of that, I am certain.
This is beyond me, I'm afraid.
Watch yourself. I'm not someone you want to cross.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
I'd say we collect as much as we...
A moment's prayer can do a world of good.
I'd sooner stay out of the back where it's so dull when there's nothing doing.